The proposed Adani Carmichael coal mine has had Australia on a rollercoaster ride for the past 8 years, and things seem to be heating up again. Let's look at why it seems to surface once or twice a year, bringing with it controversy, protests, and a fresh round of justifications and debates from our politicians. The controversy started when Adani Mining, a subsidiary of India-based multinational group, Adani Group, announced plans to create a mine comprising of both open-cut and underground areas spanning 30 hectares in Queensland's Galilee Basin. The coal mine would then be exported to India for the purpose of generating electricity for approximately 300 million people. The project garnered a fair bit of support for quite obvious reasons: money and jobs. Despite the rise of renewable energy around the world, Australia is still exporting huge amounts of coal, 17% of the global supply of metallurgical coal, which is used to create steel, and 19% of the world's thermal coal, which can be used to generate electricity. The Adani mine, which has requested a $16.5 billion investment from multiple parties, promised to generate 10,000 jobs. And for regional Queensland, that would be huge in terms of improving employment rates. Now, in the startup construction phase, 10,000 jobs is pretty accurate, but a lot of these will end once the site is established. Long term, as little as 1,500 jobs could be maintained. Still a huge contribution, but a lot less than what was promised. The amount of coal that the mine is expected to produce each year has also fluctuated greatly. At one point, it was estimated that it would produce 2.3 billion tonnes of coal over 60 years, so around 40 million tonnes per year. But estimates have also suggested as low as 25 billion tonnes or as high as 60 million tonnes at peak production levels. And this leads me to the main controversies over the mine: its environmental impact, which would be severely impacted by the creation and amount of coal produced by the mine. It's predicted that if the mine reaches peak production of 60 million tonnes of coal per year, roughly 120 million tonnes of CO2 will be produced annually, which for scale is more than the annual emissions of some whole countries. The Australian government has also provided unlimited use of water in the Great Artesian Basin for the next 60 years. But this could severely affect agricultural production in the region, as roughly 12 billion litres of water will be required per year for the extraction of coal by Adani, the equivalent of 13 swimming pools every day. And if that wasn't enough, the Great Barrier Reef, which, if you missed it, has already been declared officially dead due to massive coral bleaching, is going to take another hit, because Abbott Point, the port owned by Adani that will be used for the transport of coal, is located there. Despite this, the project has somehow passed every single environmental testing requirement set by the Australian government, survived 10 court cases brought to it by environmental groups, and a High Court case against it. Go figure. It was refused funding by the Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk, who vetoed a $1 billion Northern Australian infrastructure facility loan in 2017, and also by Australia's major banks. The Labor Party has agreed to the mine's creation, but it's placed over 200 conditions on the construction of the mine if it goes ahead. So what's happening now? Adani's claiming that it's pretty much locked in the $16.5 billion for the mine, and that it's close to acquiring funding for the rail component, the North Galilee Basin Rail Project, which would link the site of the mine to Adani Mining's port at Abbott Point. Skepticism has been growing, however, since the official start of construction, which was planned for October 2017, was postponed due to wet weather and never rescheduled. Over 200 people in Townsville are currently employed by Adani Mining already, while others have lost their jobs in funding reallocations by local governments who have expected the mine to go ahead. Information about Adani is so confused that protests continue while there's no mine construction, and people stick steadfastly by Adani again while there's no mine construction. Ultimately, we just need an answer. Is it happening or not? We'll see.